Hello, I'm Claudia Kay and welcome back to my channel. So, first let's talk about the weather. Here in Ohio, it is not supposed to get above freezing for the rest of the week, which means we will have, I think it's an 8-day stretch where we haven't even gotten up to 32 degrees. Currently it's 9 degrees here. We had more snow overnight, so all of the local schools are canceled. And if you don't know anybody with fibromyalgia or arthritis or any kind of chronic pain, let me tell you, when it gets this cold, it makes our pain like 200% more. Oh, so much pain. Like, I had already taken ibuprofen before my feet hit the floor this morning. I was like, nope, I can't. So, not doing well in this cold weather. But I did get all my Christmas stuff packed up. No more Christmas behind me. Unfortunately, I did not get it back out to the garage before the temperature changed. I should have taken it out because it was like 35, I think, the day that I finished packing it all up. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it no. Nope. Should have taken it out that day. So it's still all sitting around here in totes. Good news is I was able to cut my Christmas totes by half. I got rid of a bunch. I gave a bunch to my daughter. I threw out things that just weren't even worth keeping anymore. And I really focused on the things that I love. Now, unfortunately, I did have to throw out my 6-foot pink tree because it has now dropped so many needles that it just wasn't, it was so raggedy. But I got that tree on clearance when the kids were little for $50 after Christmas at a Big Lots. $50. So let me tell you, I definitely got my $50 worth and then some out of that tree. So while I'm sad to see the pink tree go, it was very discolored because the sun had shone in the one window where I had it displayed one year for the whole month. And so the needles in that one section, I always had to turn that to the back. Anyway, so got rid of that tree, and my daughter had already taken my flock tree, and then this year she took my white tree. So I have I think it's a 4-foot tree, vintage tree that was one of my grandmother's. I'm keeping that for the moment. Maybe it's a 3-foot. It's tiny. It won't hold my ornaments, but who knows where I'll be next year. So I may not even get the opportunity to decorate for Christmas at all next year. Or at the end of this year. So I have no idea. Drop a comment below and let me know what the weather is like where you are. So I know parts of Texas are freezing. I've seen TikToks of Texans preparing for the freeze. And I know some areas have lots and lots and lots and lots of snow. We don't have a ton of snow. We have a lot of ice with a bit of snow. So making the roads very slick, and then you put a fresh layer of snow in this temperature over that ice, and it just makes everything nasty. So that's why schools are canceled today. But drop it below. Let me know what your weather is like. I'm really curious about what the whole state is experiencing. I was watching TikToks from Tennessee where they're like, you people up north need to come get your weather. And it looked like they have more snow than we have here in Ohio right now. So, okay, so some updates. I'm going to give you some updates, and then I'm going to show you a preview of some of the things that are going to be for sale Wednesday, tomorrow morning, if you're seeing this today. If you're seeing this after my sale on Wednesday, you can always email me or drop a comment below if you're interested in an item and you want to know it's still available, because I know a lot of you cannot make it to the sales. So if you see something that you're like, oh my goodness, I need that, drop it down below. And some of these things are pretty cool that I'm getting rid of because they're my treasures now, and I don't want to have to store everything I own. At this point, storing the swans alone, I cannot even imagine how many totes I'm going to need for all all of these swans, and packaging to cushion them so the necks don't get broken while they're in storage. So here's the updates. My brother, I may have mentioned this before, but my brother and I talked, and he is going to pay for a year of a storage unit so that I don't lose my stuff, so that I don't have to get rid of everything. So I do want to keep the storage unit as small as possible, and I will not be storing anything like upholstered. So none of my chairs, which the one chair doesn't fit in my living room because it's a Victorian looking chair, and everything else in here is very 1950s, early 1960s looking. So I was thinking about getting rid of it anyway. My bedroom used to be very Victorian, but I've moved away from that some too. And then my barrel chair, which I think is from the 1960s. I had original paperwork on that. It is literally, at this point, being held together by duct tape. It is in terrible shape. Terrible. I got it free, and I think it's time for it to go. So I'm not even going to try and store anything like that. Anything that mice could nest in is going to have to go into a plastic tote. So I need to sell enough stuff in the next month to make sure I can buy plastic totes. I did empty a good portion of them by getting rid of Christmas stuff, so I've got to clean the glitter out of those, and I can store things in those. So my brother's doing that for me. That is amazing. Storage units are expensive, and I wish he didn't have to do that, but he's going to. And then my middle sister, the one that lives in the tiny 2-bedroom apartment, is going to let me stay with them. So I hate that I'm going to be inconveniencing them and squishing them even more, but I'm not gonna be homeless, so that's a good thing, except that I can't take both my cats. So my daughter has offered to take my cats, which breaks my heart. So we're not gonna talk about that. I can go visit them, obviously, but health-wise, it is hard for me to do the 45-minute drive. Otherwise, I'd probably be at her house weekly, spending time with her, but because I miss her. But yeah, she'll keep the cats safe. They will be warm, they will be fed, and they will be loved. They just won't be with me. So that's the update. The other thing is, I have 1 month. 1 month. And this is, for me, the worst time of year. With having fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and seasonal affective disorder and all the other things that go along with it. Traditionally, for January and February, I just let things slide. Work would slow down. When I was a massage therapist, January and February were always my very slowest times of year, because I did work on a lot of elderly people, and I worked on a lot of chronically ill people who just didn't leave the house this time of year. And so January and February would slow down just without me having to do anything. And so I would focus on just getting through those few massages that I had to do, and then making sure the kids and I were fed. And I would have to watch the weather way in advance to make sure that we had enough groceries, that I wasn't going to have to leave the house on days when it's like 9 degrees out, like it is today. So, then when I was doing this, sales also slowed down here in January and February because people spent too much money on Christmas, and so that they've naturally slowed down. And I would use this time to clearance out stuff, so I wasn't having to be out thrifting, and just was able to make my world smaller in January and February, if that makes sense. But now I can't make my world smaller. I have to do all of the things that I normally would not do, because I used to just go to work, do my massages, make sure the kids were fed, and then rest under lots of blankets and not do catch up on, we would stream things, I would read books, just do the least amount of anything as possible, because I was in so much pain and so exhausted. But can't do that, cannot do that. And so this month is going to be hard. So things that I'm doing to help with that. I am not worried about New Year, new me. I'm not trying to do any kind of diet or cleanse or healthy eating. we're eating a lot of soup, very good soup. My mom made potato soup yesterday. It was delicious. And she made chicken rice soup. I don't know if it was at the end of last week or over the weekend. That was delicious. So, I'm still eating a lot of healthy foods, but I'm also not going to not eat junk food because it helps with the dopamine. And for me, in the short term, sugar helps elevate my mood and helps me handle the pain better. In the long term, it's worse to have a lot of sugar because, it packs more weight on, the weight makes the pain worse. We all know that. But short term, I have to get through the next month. So if I need candy to do that, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give myself permission to enjoy some treats and not feel guilty about it. I'm going to enjoy the hot chocolate and not feel guilty about it. I've been drinking a ton of tea, though. A lot of herbal teas. I've got an echinacea immune boosting tea that I'm trying to drink. So that's what I'm doing health-wise. I'm resting when I can, but right now I'm not even sleeping at night because I'm in so much pain. So the next month is going to be very, very, very difficult. We're trying to push through it. Also, lost my train of thought. Oh, so I've not been able to do any packing or sorting except for the Christmas stuff because of this major flare-up from the weather. But what I am doing is I'm using things up. So you know how you buy a product or you get a sample and you throw it in your bathroom drawer and then it just sits there forever because you forgot it existed. I'm going through and I'm using up all of those products. And if I have an allergic reaction to them or if I absolutely hate the product, it's going in the trash. So I am doing that. As I wear my clothes, I'm trying to wear through my entire wardrobe instead of just picking the same 5 things that I always wear. If it's got holes, I'm throwing it out. Oh, guys, I am sweating. Dad lit a fire and it just started to put out heat because it was only 54 in my room. So I'm doing that. You guys know I'm trying on all of my hats. So we're going through hats on here this month. If I put on a pair of socks and the elastic isn't right and they're falling down into my shoes, trash, they're going in the trash. So that's, even though I am not actively going through things and packing things, I am still daily doing these little things to get through stuff. So I pulled all of my tea out of the cupboard and set it out in a cute little thing. So I am making more tea and drinking more tea, which I would normally do this time of year anyway, but now I am let's get through this. Let's not have to pack stuff up or donate stuff. So even though I'm not doing the big undoing of the room, I'm doing little things every day. So that's what I'm doing even on days when I feel awful. So I want to show you a few things that will be up for sale on Wednesday, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Coffee Chat and a small sale. And for the future of the channel, at this point, I am going to continue to do sales after I move. I may have to take a week or two off to recover, or I may just pop on and do coffee and a chat and no sale. But I have very specific goals with what I will be sourcing to sell to you guys. And one of those is going to be the size of things. I will no bit longer be doing the oversized things and probably not doing the super heavy things. I'm going to keep it because I'm going to have such a limited space. I'm hoping to empty a couple of those under the bed storage, and then I can source items that can go under there. And I'm going to be very particular about the quality of the things that I buy so that they sell quickly. So that I'm not holding on to product. I don't have product build up again. I simply won't have the space for it. But I am going to continue sales at this moment. That is my plan. So it's a little dusty, but this candle holder will be up for sale. Originally, this would have been a set of 2. They were sold as Christmas candles. I think they're crystal. It's a really heavy. I bought this from another reseller. Loved it, but I've enjoyed it long enough. It can sit a couple of different ways. So it's very, very cool. That will be up for sale. This apple which will not be expensive because it has a very, very bad repair, but it's the first time I've ever found an item with an actual rainbow sticker on it that was affordable enough for me to buy. So it has the sticker right there, and it's a little dusty, but look, you can see the repair. It's bad. That broke right off, and it was very, very badly repaired. But if you have always wanted a piece of rainbow glass, see, when it's displayed, you don't even see, you only see it from the top, the bad repair. But rainbow glass, I mean, the sticker alone, so that will be up for sale tomorrow. Guys, I love this. Love, love, love it. But not enough to keep it. I don't need it, so look. Isn't that fantastic? Still has its cord. I have no idea if it works. I have no idea, but it's just so fun. And then if you remember my amber sale I did during fall season, I know there was a Fenton candle holder, there was a Viking candle holder. That stuff's gonna be back up for sale again tomorrow, but less expensive. So good deals to be had at this sale. And then I'm going to cut to some things that are still hanging on the wall that are going to be up for sale tomorrow, because I don't want to take them off the wall and risk them getting knocked off or broken until tomorrow morning. So those will come off the wall tomorrow morning. So I've got some chalkware items that will be up for sale, and just whatever I pulled today. So it's going to be a random sale. There's no theme, but it's going to have some fantastic items like that phone and like some chalkware fish. So hang on, and we're going to go over to my walls. All right, I have two sets of these. They are identical, just in two different colors. So they will be sold separately, sets of three, two sets of three. So chalkware fish, those will be in tomorrow's sale. Chalkware roses, no, those aren't roses. This one's the rose. That's a single, but these, I don't even know what those flowers are. Those are set, so those will be in the sale. And then I am finally going to put up these tiny wall pockets. These are darling. Look how tiny they are. That's my hand. So these wall pockets, ooh, wall pockets will be in tomorrow's sale. And maybe some of this other art. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made decisions, but wanted to show you the chalkware items that will be in tomorrow's sale. Remember, be kind. It doesn't cost you anything, and it may mean everything to someone else. Bye.